From the fourth Walking Dead spin-off bringing back our two favorite characters, to fans worried about loving Dead City a little too much, here's how they've reacted to Walking Dead: Dead City. Hallelujah. The Walking Dead franchise just got a whole lot bigger with June 2023's release of Dead City, a series that follows two of the original franchise's most notable characters, Negan and Maggie. We love to hate Negan, and we just gotta love Maggie. So when fans caught wind of the two long-standing enemies-turned-frenemies coming together again for a spin-off, they were excited. AMC reported its fourth spin-off of The Walking Dead back in March 2022, and production began not long after in July. By October, we had Dead City secured. Still, with the release of 3 other spin-offs, AMC probably wanted to take its sweet, sweet time, marketing Dead City as a series, unlike the others. I mean, the zombie gore would still be a core concept, can't have anything The Walking Dead related without it. But this series would also focus on two people fans wanted to see more of. Negan, the guy who beat the ever-living daylights out of Glenn, and Maggie, the woman who was carrying Glenn's child. Yeah, that was a tricky dynamic to work around when Negan eventually decided he wanted to be a part of the good guys. You already know this video is going to be about how fans have reacted to June 2023's release of Dead City, which I'll get to in a minute. But first, I want to talk about how fans reacted to Isle of the Dead. Don't worry, we're still in the same realm here because long before it was marketed as Dead City, the Negan-Maggie spin-off was called Isle of the Dead. So fans knew Negan would probably end up with his own spin-off. This was actually before the flagship's last episode aired, where the fate of the original characters is sorta left up to us to decide. We don't know who made it out and who didn't. Well, I guess we do know now, because besides Maggie and Negan, Daryl and Carol also got their own spin-off, so that's 4 characters who managed to defy all odds. But anyway, back to Negan and Maggie. As I said, fans knew Jeffrey Dean Morgan would get his time in the sun again, what with his massive fan base and all. That, plus the fact that the character was introduced to us pretty later on in the flagship, and fans wanted to know more about him. Like, who was Negan before he swung a bat repeatedly at Glenn's head? But Maggie. Yeah, no, that was a shocker. Because you see, toward the end of The Walking Dead, Negan asks Maggie to forgive him one last time. This would have been the ultimate character arc for Negan. But Maggie told him while she didn't want him dead, she didn't care a whole lot that he was alive either. Ouch. But then again, he did kill the father of her unborn child. Speaking of which, while fans loved the idea of seeing the two together as core characters in their own spin-off, they hated the idea of the two of them actually getting together. One guy tweeted, "If Negan and Maggie end up kissing, we're going to have a problem." Boy, that tweet sure gathered a lot of support. A lot of fans chimed in to say that it'd completely ruin canon if AMC decided on Isle of the Dead was a way to make Negan atone by actually getting together with Maggie and fathering Herschel. Now that wouldn't be an alien concept as far as spin-offs are concerned. Plus, why else would you bring two characters with a lot of history back again? Whatever the reason might be, fans just don't want this to turn into a cliché. Now, while a lot of them were excited about a Negan-Maggie spin-off, some fans thought AMC lost the plot. This fan tweeted out asking why the network thought it'd be a good idea to pair two people who didn't really like each other. Lilac pointed out that it was actually brave of Maggie to stand her ground and refuse to accept Negan's apology in the final season of The Walking Dead. But now, with Dead City, it was pretty clear the network was trying to force the two to reconcile. Lilac also went on to suggest that maybe a spin-off with Negan navigating post-apocalyptic Manhattan all by himself would have made more sense. A few fans agreed. Look, Lauren Cohan's a The Walking Dead staple at this point, but fans believe her character's just being turned into a side character for Negan's storyline. Is that really fair to Maggie and Herschel? Some fans don't think so. Dead City will follow Negan and Maggie's journey as she comes to him again after the events of the final season of The Walking Dead and asks for his help in finding her son. Fans were thrilled with the scenic change for Dead City. Well, I mean, scenic wouldn't be the best way to describe it. It's Manhattan after the outbreak, so it's basically a concrete jungle. Still, it's a shift from the flagship's jungle route. Okay, so now you know how fans reacted to Dead City, back when it was still Isle of the Dead. Now let's see how the show actually fared when it was released. So, officially, Dead City did pretty decently. According to Rotten Tomatoes, Dead City holds a 69% approval rating with an average of 7/10 by 16 critics. Critics had a sorta lukewarm response to the premiere. They said that it was hard to separate Dead City from the original show, but that at least it gave fans something new and exciting with a change of setting and a principal focus on two fan-favorite characters. But we're here to talk about the fans, and they actually loved it. I'm sure the execs at AMC broke a sweat when the reviews started flooding in because let's be real here. Fan responses leading up to the show's premiere were pretty mixed. It's like this one fan said, "Dead City is a refreshing take on an otherwise exhausted concept." What do they mean by that? Look, toward the end of The Walking Dead, fans started accusing AMC of beating a dead horse. Despite fleeting reviews and declining viewership, AMC released season after season of The Walking Dead. So with Dead City, fans were originally skeptical. Like, what if this is just another zombie show? It's not, and that's the best part. No, I mean zombie gore is still a concept within, but Negan's redemption is also part of the storyline. Plus, Maggie taking on Rick Grimes' role in the flagship was also pretty thrilling to see. A lot of fans chimed in to pat AMC on the back for actually proving them wrong. That's a first, right? Speaking of firsts, fans think this might be Maggie's story to tell. Now, I admit that when Dead City was announced, I was one of the many people who believed this would just be a show about Negan, with Maggie there to add on to his redemption arc. After watching the premiere episode, though, I'll be the first one to say I was wrong. See, many fans pointed out that maybe Dead City's playing the classic switcheroo with us. Now, Negan's fully convinced that he's done everything he possibly could to redeem himself, even though, deep down, he knows he still has some things to iron out before being completely absolved. Maggie, on the other hand, admitted in the first episode that while she still hates Negan, she can understand him now. This made many fans believe that Maggie would take on the cold-blooded murderer role this season, believing that she's just doing her best to survive and keep those she loves alive. Q. Herschel and the fact that Dead City's entire plot revolves around Maggie getting her son back from the Croat. Negan's speech in the premiere episode, the one where he talks about how good men have done horrible things too just to survive, and Maggie's retaliation saying that she's killed too. Honestly, all of that just made fans all the more excited to see how the story unfolds as the show goes on. There were a few hiccups too, though. Okay, so while fans are commending AMC for putting together the best parts of the 11-season-long The Walking Dead into an 8-episode spin-off series, others are starting to worry. So, the network's known primarily for hosting The Walking Dead and all of its spin-offs. Fans are worried that the overwhelmingly positive response to Dead City might lead to the same end as The Walking Dead, a drawn-out series that lost the plot as more and more seasons were dished out. According to MovieWeb, it's almost guaranteed that AMC is looking forward to releasing a second season already, even though all 8 episodes haven't been released yet. It's honestly a sticky situation to be in. Fans love Dead City, but are scared their love for the spin-off might encourage the network to do to Dead City what they did to The Walking Dead. So, from fans worried about loving Dead City too much, to the 4th spin-off series bringing back 2 fan-favorite characters, this was everything on how fans have reacted to The Walking Dead, Dead City.